It's 10 o'clock, y'all. And we are live.
We're live? What?
It's weird, right?
This is the first time
Cameras
I've actually been in results.
So, all right, I'm going to turn this one on. All right, so
they can hear us?
They can hear us
from there,
from right here.
Wow, look
they
at
can
this.
see us. I'm using this camera
Okay,
right
all right,
now.
all right.
Throughout this, I'm probably going to jump around different cameras, Troy. So
you're able to control everything that we're going to see. You're doing it all. There's no one back at the station doing it.
So, no, yes and no. There can be, which is kind of cool. Oh, whoa, they can hear us.
That's good. We're just going to
move
the volume down. There we go.
And it is possible for someone to control the cameras for us back at home.
But most of the time you're
doing
it all. So
all
it really is kind of a one-man band. I was saying when we first got in here, this sort of reminds me of when I first got into the big trucks that we did in Oklahoma to go storm chasing.
I always ask you about that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well,
tell me about your storm.
The big reason is there's this big laptop you've got right here with all your information. This is what we used even then. This was the early 2000s.
How
when
big
I did
was
that.
the laptop?
I mean, think of the early 2000s. It was a pretty clunky, big old laptop. But we had that, and it was right in front of where the airbag was. And that was people always ask, when you chase tornadoes, were you scared? The thing I was the most afraid of is, because we went so fast, hitting something and then the airbag deploying and this hitting me in the face. I later learned that they turned the airbag off. Right? Isn't that what you did? Let's hope.
So in the patrol car, I would tend to shut the passenger airbag off because of the amount of equipment.
Right. What about this one? Is it
this
off?
One right now it's on currently.
So if we
so like this, see, it says it's on. But
that's my fear. This laptop's going to hit us in the face.
Well, maybe we can shut it off at some point.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Well, anyway, so that's the scariest thing to me about storm chasing.
So wait though, we're on that topic.
Wait. This is the problem. This is our. I know you want to talk about. Do you want to set everything up?
No, we're good.
I have questions for you. This whole thing, I think there are a lot of people who don't realize what all this really took. I would say for years, right? How many years?
How long have I been talking about you?
I've known you for six
years.
I mean, how many years have you been thinking of this concept of having a vehicle? And, it's a news vehicle, News 6.
Right.
And you're out on patrol, but it's more than that. Before you answer that, I think it has to do with the hurricanes most recently. I know you probably had an idea, but we all saw what you were capable of and what this was capable of during what hurricane was it when you were out?
You're the meteorologist, bro.
One of the two last ones that we had. I think you were out in both of them.
Both of them. The second one wasn't bad, but it was where Lake Ivanhoe got really flooded.
Well, and that's what I remember, because you were out in a news vehicle, right? And you were just doing it, and that was with no planning. You just kind of ran out there and did it because there was flooding.
Well, they said, hey, if you download this... So, hold on, let's slow down.
Right.
Let's slow it down a little bit. So, the hurricane... Yeah, the hurricane's hitting.
Whoa.
And,
Cars scared me.
Cars are everywhere.
Oh, it was like doing that. All right, go on.
So, the hurricane was happening, and every time we have a storm, I'm always just sitting there like...
Right, that's true. Waiting to do your thing with traffic.
Because the trooper in me wants to be out and making sure everything... That is a sick patrol car, look at that.
Oh, he does that all the time.
It's breast cancer awareness.
I
know,
it's a nice
but
one. Like every car you see, you're like, oh, look, that's the new one.
Yeah.
And you know which one it is.
So I was like, man, sitting there. So I remember walking up to Jason and asking Jason, hey, what are the chances I can go out?
During the hurricane.
During the hurricane. He's like, well, we don't have anybody to send with you. And I go, so how do I go out by myself?
I can just grab a GoPro.
I go, what about this app thing? So a little tidbit for you guys. I don't speak news, and I have to learn all the time. Because I'm like, guys, what's a VSOT or a VOSOT? Exactly.
It's a video with sound on tape.
I don't speak the language. So I'm like, that app that I saw y'all just going like this?
The live thing?
The live view?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, let's get it on your phone.
Wow.
And he goes, you don't mind going out? I go, brother, this is nothing.
What was the time frame between you asking and you actually getting out?
I think I was out in the field in about 45 minutes.
That is
crazy.
But what was so good is what you were able to show us. You were out in the floodwaters. I mean, and you weren't in a truck like this at the time.
I had to park and then go out into it.
And the reason you're doing that, and this is also part of what we did as hurricane hunters, we weren't out there having fun.
No.
You're not out there trying to drive through floodwaters to just have fun. No. You're out there to show the people at home the stuff that they can't see at home. Like with the radar, we can show you a tornado on the radar.
Don't you think that's the common misconception from people?
It is. But with storm chasing, it was because people thought, oh, they're just out having fun. No, we're out there to be able to confirm on the ground back to the station. Because when we look at the radar, we see the tornado.
Right, you don't know if it's there or not.
But we don't know if it's on the ground
Right.
yet. It has to have a confirmation on the ground. And so we would be the eyes on the ground, and we would be on the phone, and we would say, hey, tornado on the ground, tornado on the ground. So that was the main point of that, is to make sure
Right.
we could really tell you, this is the street it's on, this is where we're headed. So for the hurricane, you were doing the same kind of thing.
I was trying to, and being in news now, and it's probably like the other side of it, like being a cop and then coming into news,
Right.
my intention, in my brain, I'm still providing some information. But then you run into the select few that are like, oh, you're just hyping it up.
Right.
And it's like, stop.
Right.
If I can now go show you
Yeah.
that I'm not hyping
Right,
it up,
right.
for me, that's what got me excited about
And that's
it.
what you did. And I think if hopefully we don't have any anytime soon, but the next hurricane, when we do have flooding, because that was the biggest concern with
Right.
the last one, you will be able to get into those neighborhoods and really
But that's
show
what motivated
us.
this.
Yeah, the truck.
The truck.
But you had the idea for
So
this.
I got to be honest. Originally, of course, I'm thinking, all right, TV. What's the viewer gonna like?
Yeah.
What I think is gonna be cool? How about like a Mustang,
Yeah, right.
or a Dodge Charger?
Well, and I've seen that, and some stations
Right.
have weather vehicles like that.
Yeah, but we're a very practical news station. We think practically, and I'm like, no, we need an SUV of some type, a vehicle
To get through,
And I knew in corporate, because that's what news is, corporate America, like going into it, you can't just say, this is what I want. No,
Right.
there needs to be a logical idea, a plan, and the way we do things, it has to, I've learned, which I appreciate, the viewer's got to get a benefit out of what we're going to do.
Right, or they're not going to watch. The whole point is to get the viewers to get something that they need out of, that's what our job is
Right.
to inform and to be able to help you.
So if I'm already a in the community guy, come on, you
I know.
guys, you're always like, another event,
I can't.
another event.
I'm amazed at the stamina that you have. I really am. That is one thing about Trooper Steve. I call him Trooper Steve, by the way.
All the time,
And
even
it
at
used
lunch.
to irritate him because he'd be like, because his name. And when I met his mom is a wonderful lady, and she said, it's Steven. And I'm like, I know, but my bosses tell me to call him Trooper Steve. That's when we were together for like a week.
Yeah.
And so it just became a thing. I say it so much that's
it.
what I call you.
And
we
it's like-
hang out. We go to lunch. We go to dinner.
Anywhere, you'll be like, Trooper Steve, across the restaurant. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, it's Trooper Steve to me.
Thanks.
Okay,
But
if
yeah.
I called you Steven, it would be just weird for me. But anyway.
like I thought, okay, so our GM is so innovative.
Our general manager,
Yes.
he's our big boss upstairs.
And I'm like, all right, I know if I just go, this is what I want, they're going to be like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So you had a plan.
I had a plan. And I got to be honest, it's almost emotional because when I presented the plan, looking into my two bosses' eyes,
Yeah, right.
they were like,
They saw it.
duh.
It's because of the plan.
What is this car doing?
Oh my goodness.
Look at this guy in front of us, just all over the road.
Oh, they're hitting the brakes.
Straddling the lane. This ain't a horse.
Oh my
Let's go.
You know what? While we're on
How?
this.
Let's follow him.
Oh no. I do have questions about this because I think
Look at that.
a lot has changed in Central Florida in the past.
I think we're gonna see a winner here.
Okay.
Troy gets nervous, guys.
I have questions.
Whenever I start like showing controversial things.
It's fine. You do you, boo. But I think a lot has changed in Central Florida on the roadways in the past 2 or 3 years. A lot of people have started moving here. We have stats on that. All these people in a short period of time, and I think the roads just have not caught up. Am I right?
You're 100% right.
So I mean, we did the huge I-4 thing, I-4 Ultimate that you were on for years, covering and
when I joined,
and it's great, but
it was
we have so many other roadways everywhere in Central Florida that are just packed, and they're packed all day. Is the boss saying this is terrible?
No, I'm getting notifications from our amazing Bridget Ellison.
Oh, where is Bridget?
She's off, and she's joining from the virtual world.
Oh, thank you, Bridget.
Well, we got a gator in the road. A tire gator.
I believed you.
So I'm not going to hit it. We got to watch out. Always be observant for stuff like this, guys. Even when you're talking to a meteorologist in your car.
Yeah.
Gotta be aware.
I don't want to distract you.
No, I've got the front car.
What do you think the deal is with all these people, moving to town? Really, I think, and also because of the pandemic, a lot of people are working from home, so they can control their schedule more. So maybe this
is a big thing for you.
I'm thinking
this is a big thing for
because one of the great benefits of doing mornings, getting up at 2 a.m.
is so nice.
Is that at 2 p.m. when you're off,
no
one's out there. But that's not the case anymore. That was for years. I've done mornings for almost 15 years here, and at 2 p.m. I could go to the gym.
15 years.
Yes. But I did mornings in other places. But imagine like at 2 p.m. people think, oh, that must be nice. Well,
I hate that comment.
We get up at 2 a.m.
That is I had to switch cameras so I could look.
Yeah.
That is the worst comment that we get. That must be so nice.
Because we still do work an 8-9 hour day. We do 9 to 10 hours.
The day is just
we get a break. But yeah, the day is shifted. We still have to get up early. So at 2 p.m., the whole point is at 2 p.m., there was a time when I could go to the gym or go to different places and it just wasn't crowded. Now, I think it's not a bad thing for the people. I'm glad the people are living their lives.
So I think I have an answer for you.
It's just everyone's everywhere all the time.
Because I like to think that Troy is a creature of habit.
Yes, you like to think.
Well, he is.
He's being very polite.
Yeah, Troy is a creature of habit. This car is not going to merge. And
they just cut right in front of us.
Right in front of us. It's I-4 at the Turnpike. What do you know? Wow. This is the first day out here. This is where that crash happened in front of me. First Trooper Steve on patrol. Live right in front of me.
That, yeah.
So, all right. So Troy is a creature of habit.
Yeah.
And since I've known him, he has not adjusted a bit.
What are you talking about?
Mind you, COVID has happened.
Yeah. Well,
other things in the world.
Because
Troy has not changed.
My schedule didn't change. My schedule didn't change.
But okay, do you hear what he's saying? His schedule didn't change.
I've been going in every day, just
but
like
the
you
world
have.
has changed.
Right.
So you got to change to the world.
That's why I'm asking these questions. What do you think is going to happen? We need to change. We got to add more roads. We got to expand the road. I don't know what we can do. An example you said earlier. What road would you like to show or go down that you just hate? I mean, I used to live downtown. I lived downtown Orlando for 6 years.
Troy said all roads.
For 6 roads I did, but I wasn't going to say that here. But no, the worst, like Colonial.
Right. Colonial is a different world.
There's no solution to it because there are so many businesses everywhere. And so all these businesses, don't you think, are just like...
So he's answering his own question.
You can't expand. So I'm thinking a double-decker road needs to happen. Like a double-decker.
I didn't expect that.
I don't know. Where else are you going to put the people?
So let me answer your question. So think about it. We've had what's happened since COVID. Mm-hmm. We've had some sort of normalcy. Mm-hmm. Then we've had no construction happened during COVID.
Right.
None.
Right.
Because we couldn't be out.
Yeah, right.
So now we're playing catch up.
Mm-hmm.
We are all of a sudden a huge influx of new residents. Mm-hmm. So the literal, we talk about boom town.
Yeah.
It happened.
True. Right.
And the boom occurred at the same time.
So what is happening?
What's happening
what's
is...
the solution? I mean, are they
there
working
is none.
on...
It's
are there roads being planned? I mean, is there planning going on?
So the expansions are happening.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing a lot of is... Got to say hi to the OPD folks out here, you know? The expansions are happening. But Troy Bridges, we live in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, there's a Red Lobster.
So, okay... Hold on. I brought Troy out here
I never come over here. This is
International Drive.
You know why? Because I never come over here.
He does not go anywhere south of 436.
The last time I was over here was with you.
Yep.
How many years ago was that?
Oh, 4 years.
That we got on the, what's that flyer? Star Flyer?
Star Flyer. Yeah, by that we did the Ferris wheel thing. Icon Park.
The thing where it's like a big thing. You got on it.
Yeah.
There's video on my phone.
With from radio host Jen Lopez.
Yes, Jen Lopez. You two got up there and got on the thing.
That was crazy.
And I stayed down below because I don't love the heights.
You don't do that stuff.
So I didn't, but anyway, that was the last time I was over here. But then a reason too is this place is crazy.
So I like to bring Troy Bridges to where I hang out. So I hang out down here a lot.
So
the missus and I come down this way quite some time.
So
the cameras are on us, just so you know.
You don't stress. I'm just saying you don't.
I don't get mad.
You're used to it.
So tell me, okay, we're gonna
get mad at some people.
We're gonna have a coming to Jesus.
You get mad.
I get mad.
Oh, there's that twisty treat.
Mm-hmm. We should stop and get some.
I don't know.
So I don't get mad because why take something? Let me say this first. I only get mad if someone does something intentionally malicious.
Right.
So if you're gonna like cut traffic and sit there and you know you're ticking everybody else off, I'm gonna get pissed. It's all right.
I just saw a bus.
Yeah, slight
There's
delay.
a slight delay, and I'm like, "Where's that bus?" Okay,
we already passed it.
I was like,
there we're back on us.
Okay.
So, but if you got to think, sometimes some of these people are just driving slow,
right?
And they may have a reason.
Well, they're
for it.
tourists too.
They're
They
tourists.
don't know the roads. I get that. They're in a rental car often. They don't,
And
I
I
get
would
that.
rather have them drive a little slower,
Yes.
than
No,
with their
I get-
eyes closed
No, I
or
agree.
something like that.
Right.
So that's a big thing, and it's over in a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the flip flop of that, if you're out and about, what do I always say? Don't make your problem everyone else's problem. Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're going to sit there and you made the wrong lane change, guess what? Move on, bro.
Right.
Go change it somewhere else.
There's that. I think Matt Austin talked about this, didn't he? When you were on the Florida Sports Estate,
which is
and I agree with him. I think
weeks.
you've talked about it too. People who they need to get in a turning lane, or they missed their turn, or whatever
and
it
they
is.
block the
So
whole
they will
thing.
block an entire lane of traffic. I mean, cars are backed
So
up,
I got to show you
and
this
they
real
don't
quick.
care.
Hold on. Pause.
What's happening
Traffic
now?
pause. I'm going to move the camera to the front because I want to show you. See this intersection here in front of us? They're talking about doing a pedestrian crosswalk.
That is insanity.
Over, like an elevated one right here. This is International Drive, Sand Lake. An elevated over like alien space crosswalk here.
Why? I mean, over the road. Is
Over the
fine.
road. So people can use it.
And people won't get hit by cars.
Right, but
we have a real problem here in this whole area of pedestrians getting hit.
It's almost
And
like
we talk about this.
it's
because
it's the web.
We
So
don't want to say it,
Well,
but I mean the thing is,
it's
of course,
the web. We can say certain
there
things.
is. I do think that people sometimes don't walk in crosswalks. Isn't that a problem?
So
If
I
you
like
walk
how
in
Troy presents that, and then I can support it with
I think
data.
that's a problem.
Statistically,
Yes, the car shouldn't hit you.
90% of collisions that occur with a vehicle and a pedestrian
Yeah.
do not occur
in
within
a
the
crosswalk. Right.
Correct.
So let's deduce that.
Right. So how
I'm
do
not
we
saying it's the person's fault necessarily every time, but
Right,
if
it's
you're
not
not in a
intentional,
crosswalk
right.
and a car doesn't, I mean,
What do you expect to happen?
I'm just saying. I think.
Oh, there goes a slingshot.
What's? Oh no way. What's
You wanna do it?
No, I'm not doing it.
What if I said
For
right
years
now?
you've tried- no,
What if I
no.
said right now? There's a reason.
No.
Where at I drive, and there's a VIP.
I have a noon
set.
show to do. I've got a lot of preparation. I've eaten just a little
If
bluebell
we
piece
pull-
of cheese for lunch so far.
He's already getting nervous.
I don't like it.
Talking.
And my mouth was dry earlier. I think I didn't have enough water.
All we had to do,
And I
guys,
ate all these Tic Tacs.
was show
I
up
eat Tic Tacs all
down
day.
here. You could see the slingshot going off.
I love
just to
Tic
get Troy a little nervous.
I don't like it over here. I just don't like heights and all that. They have great restaurants. I mean, I like that restaurant.
Outback.
Yeah, I like Outback. Also, Carrabba's. That's good. They have the
looks cool.
Mezzaluna there. That's really good.
Capitol Grill's here.
Capitol Grill's really good.
Yeah.
It's very fancy.
There's a lot of new stuff down here.
I know Bridget comes down here a lot.
Well, she's
too.
got the babies.
She doesn't live very far. We won't tell her.
Well, she's got the babies,
But
so
yeah,
she
the
brings the
babies.
kids down here.
and she loves it over here. And it's fun.
I like it. So there is a guy who dresses up like a bush.
Oh yeah,
The Orlando
Okay,
Bushman.
so Trooper Steve loves to watch these YouTube videos in the traffic and weather center of that guy.
I'm making
this
sure
guy
our
who
signal-
hides as a bush.
I think we just lost.
Oh no!
No, we didn't lose signal. We're good.
And he watches this YouTube guy. He has his own channel. Is it the same guy? Or
Yep, the Orlando Bushman.
And he will hide, and he looks like a tree.
Yes.
Like a ficus tree or whatever. And people don't expect it.
I don't speak plants.
It's like a lot of people can buy those big fake trees and put them in their house. And
I'm
it kind
looking
of looks
for
like
'em.
that. But he jumps out, if you don't know what it is, he jumps out, and it's the thing Trooper Steve loves, I think, the most. To see people, their reaction to this tree turning into a human jumping out.
That is the best thing for me.
I mean, there was one, maybe that guy was at the, remember when we did the thing
We
in
need to go
Brevard
here,
County?
Howl at the Moon.
What was it, the seafood festival? Wasn't there a tree person
the
there?
lovely seafood. Yeah, but I think
I remember seeing that. 'cause I
his
took a
tree looked
picture.
like he got sprayed with like weed eater or something.
He was
like,
a little dead?
His suit wasn't that good.
Wow, all right.
He looked like a man dressed
So
as a
you're
tree.
a connoisseur
Of pranks.
of the suit, the tree people.
Yes.
Who dress up as trees.
Yeah.
No, it has to be good so
It's
that
good.
it doesn't
It's
look
good.
fake.
All right. So other topics we wanted to talk about today. What was
Yeah.
it? Let's see.
Well, we
the
covered
birth
what
of
I-
results one.
Yeah,
we kind of talked about that.
Did we? Okay, so it took years. You
Took
came
years,
up with a plan.
came up with the plan.
You presented the plan. The bosses said, "We love the plan."
And that's the thing about having people around that support your idea.
Right. Well, if your idea is good and it serves the community, it serves the viewers.
We don't do anything that doesn't.
Right.
So.
Right. And that's what's great about our bosses is that it is about serving the viewer.
Like, never in my life, I got to be honest, I am a local traffic anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Never in my life did I think I would be the guy someone turns to so they can get home safely, or
why is
the
that?
favorite news guy. Well, because I'm a cop and I'm on the news,
right?
And it's like, that's a iffy little world.
You have a lot of people who respect you for what you've done, your military service,
and I think
first.
it's a relatable.
Then I mean, here's the thing: when you are out, and you still, just so you know, he does still go out on patrol.
I still true.
When you're out on patrol, I mean, the people who are state troopers in any state are the ones who go up to those terrible crashes.
Nasty
you
stuff.
see the worst of the worst.
Oof.
I can't. I mean, I don't want to see that. I can't imagine. I mean, I was a one-man band for like a few months.
Can we jump into this? Do you mind? Can we tell your story of what you're one and why you stopped doing it?
Well, okay, yeah. Well,
it's a moment, and I think that's what I know. Troy doesn't want to maybe, but there's a reason why Troy became a meteorologist.
Well, I started out. Well, I always had an interest, but I started out because I got an opportunity to right out of college, while I was in college, to work and.
So you were working.
I was a one-man band. Which means in Macon, Georgia.
Okay.
Because I went to the University of Georgia and I was still in school. And when I interned at this station, they gave me an opportunity while I was still there to do some reports and to do some TV stuff. So I got a chance to do that.
Doesn't happen often.
And that's also in my hometown. Anyway, the bottom line is, so I did some news stuff, and I just decided asking people, family members, about someone who died, it was just hard to do. Now there's a reason for it, because
but it's not for everybody.
If the family wants to
get their message out,
to get the message out about what happened, or maybe to just say this is a real person and this is who our family member was, it was just not for me. And I knew I'd always had this interest, and I so anyway, I went back to school, became a meteorologist, did that in Augusta, Georgia, 20-something years ago.
Wow.
And then got the opportunity, after doing a morning show in Augusta, to go chase tornadoes. So Oklahoma City called me out of the blue and said, it was weird because Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City called me.
At the same time?
I was like 20 years old, a little 20-something. And they said, we want you to come, and oh, by the way, there's going to be storm chasing. I'm like, oh, okay, because I did a little bit of that because I was a meteorologist in Augusta, Augusta, Georgia, the home of the Masters tournament, and we would have severe weather and storms, and they would send us out occasionally. So I had done that, but I was naive to the fact how intense it would be. Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still on.
How intense it would be at the screen change. How intense it would be to go out there and actually chase the tornadoes. So when I did it, I'm glad I did it when I was really young, because I was young and just said, okay, I'll try it. And I did it, and then I got used to doing it, and then I could, whatever. It became a thing, my job. But
that's kind of
but if I had known what it was going to be like, I don't know. It would have been a lot more frightened. Wouldn't you? Like, not knowing.
So coming out
kind
from
of
the police
thing.
world into the news world, it's I don't think people understand what a journalist is putting themselves into in order to get that information.
Right.
So when I first got here, I can't recall who our overnight person was, but still with us, Ezzy Castro. She used to work that shift, that overnight single multimedia journalist reporter spot. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these reporters are out by
close.
Yeah, by
and he's like
low to the ground.
Anyway.
Like,
yes,
and people don't understand the overnights in the middle of places.
Because that's when crime happens.
Right, and just because they're reporting doesn't mean that they're under all this protection. There is a duty that I would almost say that journalists feel to kind of get their story told. And I was like, whoa, this is still active stuff. There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of mental stress that goes into reporting some of this stuff. You got to think they didn't sign up to be seeing some of the things that you're seeing. You signed up to tell the story,
and that's part of why. Another reason I did not love, because there, do we want to be as graphic? I mean, there was a body that had washed up on a river, and you
can tell it,
and it was my job to tell the story and to tell the story of this person, and the family was there, and I didn't want to talk to them because I wanted to give them their space.
Right.
And I had a friend who worked at a different station, and he came up to me He's in New York now, and he's a great guy and does great work. And he was very good at what he did. And he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, the family will probably talk to you." And he was a competitor.
Right.
But anyway, and they were very nice, and hopefully I helped them in some way. But I just wasn't. It wasn't my thing to do that.
So your first experience with weather. Was the first time it kind of clicked, and you're like, I think I like this.
My station in Augusta had, I think their morning guy abruptly left.
Okay. And all of a sudden
they're
like,
to think of the order of the events.
Yo, Troy.
Well, I think no.
Hop in front of the screen.
He hadn't left. Something happened. I think to the weekend person. Something happened, and they needed me to fill in. I guess they thought I was good enough at ad-libbing.
Okay.
Live, so I could just talk, and then so I learned, a little bit of what I needed to talk about, and then I just filled in. And then when I did it, I said, "Wow, I'm really interested about this. I want to learn more about science and know what I'm talking about, and I want to do this. This is fun. This is fun. Getting to just ad lib and talk to the viewer, instead of because we write these scripts and got to get Making a
pit stop because I want to show you something. This is FHP's new headquarters.
Wow, you've talked about this.
I've talked about it a lot, but I've not been able to show it. So this is the beautiful new Troop D Orlando headquarters building located International Drive in Central Florida Parkway. A few units parked out front, but nothing special. Just
so what happens in here?
This is where command is housed. This is where traffic homicide sits. So this is where all the administration for 9 different counties operate out of. Weird part is their dispatch center is not here. That's up by Sanford.
Okay, so here's my question here. I think we've talked about this before. This location, though,
is miserable.
Is where all the tourists are. There's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
So how hard is it to get where they need to go?
Well, with red and blue lights, anything is possible.
But still, they have to go through all this stuff.
So location-wise, this is not horrible. It's not ideal, not horrible. You're talking, you have 528 and you have I-4 right here, which is pretty good. But you're right. This is tourist area, so I can tell you a little bit of what I know. This was a Westgate building. The older building was getting kind of old, and instead of refurbishing it, let's find another building. So the state purchased this building from them, and it was fully equipped, looked good. I do have a lieutenant already texting me because he sees our truck here, so I'm getting out of this place.
Let's get out of here.
I'm not trying to hang out and say hi to any troopers right now.
They're all going to come out and want to talk to you.
No, Lieutenant DeVore saying hello to me this morning, so let me get out of here.
Like, what are you doing over here?
Yeah, they saw the car.
So yeah, one of the big things since we're over here is I think the biggest question I hear people ask you is, are you still a trooper, or are you a real trooper? They don't. It's
such a weird question.
But they all ask it. Just like there was a time when everyone called me Todd Bridges.
Where'd that start? What happened?
There was a show called Different Strokes.
Okay.
Back in the day before you were born.
Yeah.
And before I was born. No, it was on when I was a kid.
Whoa, sorry.
But anyway, and there was a character on there, but he was played by the real person, Todd Bridges. He's an actor.
Okay.
I'm just not Todd Bridges. So everyone, for some reason, because that name, I think, had been in their head, and also after he had been a child star, I think he had some issues with some crimes.
Okay.
And so he had gone to jail, I think, or something.
Oh, God.
And so people had heard all that, and so knew that name. And were calling me that a lot. But anyway,
I remember showing up though, and you got pissed.
Well, people would there's a thing people gravitate to sometimes, and for you, are you a trooper? Are you a real trooper? So what's your answer to that?
I play one on TV.
No,
I don't.
No, you actually
so
don't.
It is weird because to think, all right, this TV anchor is also a state trooper. Why is it weird? Because it's weird to people because we've never seen it. Just because we haven't seen it doesn't make it wrong.
Right.
It actually makes it extremely innovative.
Right.
So what I'm able to do is maintain my state requirements of training and things like that to keep my standard active and to keep my credentials active. Meaning, the simple answer, yes, I am a Florida State Trooper. I carry a badge, I carry issued equipment, and I can effect arrests just like any state trooper in the state. The only difference is I am volunteer basis.
Right.
So I receive no monetary compensation by the state.
Right.
But for me, that's not what it's about.
Right.
It's keeping my standards, the knowledge,
So how often do you do that?
I would say about once a month I'm doing something with the troopers.
Do they call you, or do you say, hey, I'm available this time?
I tend to kind of pick.
Right.
There are benefits of being Trooper Steve.
Right.
So I kind of call the guys who I know are having fun in different areas of Central Florida. I'll be like, hey, my buddy got moved to a proactive unit. Hey, dude, can I come out and ride with you tonight?
Because there are so many different facets of what troopers do. I don't think people realize what
you didn't until I joined.
No.
And you're like, why are the troopers there? And I'm like, let me explain.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was in a crash, so we won't go into all that. But I was in a crash, a year ago?
Was it a year already?
The troopers were there, and I called Trooper Steve, you guys. Because it was
an intense situation.
Terrible. But anyway, I called you. You're the first person I called. Maybe I don't want to talk about that because I'll start crying.
Let's move on.
Just because he was a good friend.
So okay, but I actually want to get into that. So there's a reason why Troy Bridges is riding with today, because there's a lot. Whenever I am out and about, he's trying to prevent the tears from hitting his face.
Because I'm thinking of that day, and I'll just mention briefly what you did.
Well, I stopped everything I did.
There was a crash, and I was sitting at a light, and I don't want to go into all of what happened, but something happened, and it was very difficult, and I called Trooper Steve. I called him, and you showed up. You showed up, so thank you.
I got you, brother.
Why are we talking about this?
I tried to move on, and he decided to talk about other stuff and bring it back.
He showed up. He left his beautiful fiance at Universal because I said, hey, I need your help. Just because I didn't know
we didn't know what was going on.
There was a lot going on. And I shouldn't have brought it up because I can't even go into the details about it.
So anyways.
I wasn't at fault. I was just sitting at a light and a terrible thing happened.
Shut up, Troy.
It was terrible. Let's just move on.
Can we?
Yeah.
What's the next topic? Why? Okay, the number one second question I get.
Wait, no, I thought we were talking about
the trooper stuff.
Like that's what, people don't know how caring you are with your friends, and you are a compassionate person, even with people who may not necessarily be your best friend.
Well,
I'm
sandpaper, but I get the job done.
And you help people. You do. You go out and you will help people a lot.
I try, and I think that's where I am a very crystal clear kind of person.
Yeah.
I operate very simply, and sometimes that comes across as like, whoa, dude, and it's like, no, if you listen to me,
right.
I'm trying to make sense.
And that's why, sometimes he'll get frustrated with me because I don't listen. I talk a lot, and I'll be like, I think I heard what he said, and I'll be like, what? I'll be like, I know what you meant, whatever. And then and then
he'll be a little sassy, little.
Oh, really? We're gonna say that? So
I didn't say it, but
today I have to get my tag. Do you want to talk about that? It's
Troy,
the 31st.
Troy is the worst procrastinator on legal stuff in the world.
But I'll go get it. I'm going to go stand in line and get my tag. The thing is, I ordered a tag.
So we'll get there.
And there's a whole other story. Anyway, let's talk about what we were talking about. Where were we? I'm off on a tangent.
So the second number one question I get, and this is why you're in the car, is how's Troy? People,
but
no matter what. Well, let's talk about it, because you've been in the business much longer than I have. And you've been a meteorologist 99% of that time.
Yeah.
And you've worked with many counterparts. And what I mean by counterparts are traffic anchors. Why? Because traffic and weather are put together. And it's just the way the system works. It's the way people want to watch the news. So for me coming into it, meeting you, we were polar opposite people. You were a TV meteorologist, and I was a street PR cop. And I'm walking in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and
I'm all like, "Hey!"
You were like,
time.
"Good morning."
Yeah, I was like that.
It's gonna be
I think I'm less like that now. I think I've learned from you.
A little bit.
But yeah, and I'm sure that was hard to get used to at that hour. But what it is that we do work this crazy shift, and we have
people
for
just
years.
think it's supposed to be just
great. And that's what it is with really the whole morning team, is that we're together at these crazy hours every morning.
There's there's a finding of mutual respect for each other,
because no one understands it unless you're on that schedule.
Like, I'll punch someone in the throat at that time.
He loves to say
that's an expression. I'm over here looking at this one now. That's an expression. No, this camera. Yeah, I say that because it's equivalent. Getting up that early is equivalent to like when it's 95 degrees outside and you don't have a breeze kicking on. Someone could smile at you wrong,
right?
And you just want to lose it.
Some people aren't morning people.
None of us are.
Well,
Troy's trying to be
I've
real
turned
nice
into
right
it, I guess.
No, I think what we do is we just choose to use each other to kind of move forward. Like in the morning, Troy and I have a mean routine, and I'm going to give out what we just implemented a few months ago.
I should have worn sunglasses. It's bright out here.
I got some shades,
Oh, no,
some
I'm
nice
good.
ones. You want to try them out?
I'm good. All right, I'll
He's
try 'em
picky.
out. Oh, you know what? He wore these on the air the other day. You did that on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they interviewed you.
Looking good.
They interviewed you about something, and you were wearing these, and like, he's doing that.
Why? Because they look good.
Because you knew they looked
These
good. They're a little dirty though. You need to clean them.
You like your car. This is like, these are chili beans. You know chili beans?
Oh, I thought there's chili beans on them because they're smudged. I'm like, you got chili.
You still talking smack about the...
No, I was just saying. Anyway, they're very
they're
nice.
chili
You
beans.
got those in
Brazil.
Brazil, yes, Brazil. Yes.
So this area wasn't too bad today. We're gonna hop on 528.
So okay, so you go. So people who may not know, how often are you? You're out every day.
Every day.
How do you decide where you're gonna go? I know sometimes there's a crash or there's some big thing happening.
How do I choose?
How do you choose where you're gonna go for on patrol?
I take a moment. I feel
and
in
it
my,
comes to
I
you.
feel in my heart.
It comes to you from Jesus.
From Jesus
or
whoever you
choose.
believe. That is one of two. But I take a moment sometimes because there's a little buffer before I hit today's topic or something like that, and I get to choose. And I think that's the best part, because some person may have a question. Like the other day, someone had a question about right turns in Vieira. I didn't necessarily want to go to that specific intersection because I know, relax, bro, relax.
It came up fast.
Because we're on a highway.
I know, but all right, go on.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to merge. We got to merge. I would have merged much sooner.
Really? You want to drive? You want to drive Results One?
No, I do not. Are they hitting their brakes?
No, it's the reflection from the sun. Yeah, maybe it was the brakes.
You know, I will say, I was good not worrying about your driving at all, because you kind of are a professional driver.
Let's not put professional there, but
I mean,
I like to say that I'm a
patrol.
Yeah.
In the day, and you still are doing some of that. So
it is different.
I mean, was there training for as a trooper? Like there's got to be training,
bro.
like how to handle people, how to drive on the road.
So, for example,
if
right
someone
now,
does this or that.
All right, we're driving. You're driving. Pretend. What are you looking at right now?
I'm looking straight ahead.
Like at what?
This car right here wobbled a bit.
It wobbled a bit,
and
right?
I'm like, there's something wrong with that.
Something a little wrong.
Right.
For
They're
me,
doing it again. There is something.
They're
wrong.
on their phone probably. Let's go check them out.
And they almost went into that other lane.
Yep.
They're in a Toyota Corolla.
Just
a black Toyota Corolla. Now I don't want to get involved because I don't know what his problem is.
He look a little experienced.
He's calling him old. That's what you were doing.
No,
now, this is what I don't like.
You hate this. I'm gonna move the front cam so you can see.
Just traffic in general. Stopped cars. And you just have to sit there and it's always just it's always just stupid. Whatever it is, it's looky-loos, looking at something for no reason.
You get through it
It'll
and there's
be nothing. Now sometimes there may be a big crash, but oftentimes you sit in traffic and you wait and you get up there. And what is it? A bicycle over there?
A bicycle
or a motorcycle?
On I-4, I hope not.
One time, I don't know where I saw it.
Look at this, putting their lipstick on over here.
I think I was driving back from South Florida one time.
Okay.
On the turnpike. That's what it was. And this huge black Mercedes.
Okay.
It was it was a big fancy Mercedes. It was on the side of the road, and these attracted people were getting out of this fancy car, and that stopped traffic. It literally, traffic was backed up. I'm like, what is going on up here? And it was some people outside of their car.
Just stopped.
That's all it was. I don't know. Maybe they got something out of the trunk.
This is maybe they South Florida?
Yeah, it was like on the turnpike.
This is why I don't go to Miami.
And maybe they tinkled. I don't know what was going on, but it was nothing to look at to stop traffic. That's what I get irritated.
Because they do this, and
they're looky-loos.
Look at this one.
So when I'm in traffic, I make it a point not to look. As much as I may want to look over there, because I get so mad at people who do.
But don't worry about them.
Because I've got to focus on trying to get through this traffic. And usually as soon as the thing is there, the traffic clears up.
Yes, sir.
And you're like, really? Was it worth it?
It's not.
To look at whatever that was?
What's the weirdest thing you have seen while driving someone else doing? Well, maybe keep
I don't
it.
know. That's a good question for you because you see a lot.
Oh, I've seen everything.
But,
I've seen if you name it, I have seen it.
I don't even know. I don't think
I've seen people with adult extracurricular activities on the side of the road.
Oh my gosh.
on the turnpike.
I don't think I've seen a whole lot of craziness.
No.
I just see people who can't drive. I'm not saying I'm an expert.
He's not.
But it's very frustrating.
He is not an expert.
It's very frustrating. And I know everyone out there, they're hitting their brakes.
I am too.
Oh, this is what I want to talk about.
Okay, I got the front cam going. Talk about it.
What you have to do
is look
what he's doing, everyone. And you've told me this, but this is something I've learned just from experience. He's giving at least a car length, I think
at least two or three.
2 car lengths ahead of him, because when that car in front of us hits the brakes, he doesn't have to slam on his brakes.
Right.
Let's go through that again. If you keep at least 2 car lengths,
2 or more
distance between the car in front of you on the interstate, like I-4 or whatever, and you're in traffic, bumper to bumper-ish, you don't need to get up on that car.
Why?
You're not going to get there any faster.
Right.
What's going to happen is you're going to be slamming on your brakes nonstop.
We're going to enter the Troy Bridges lanes.
And I would rather not
We're going to
slam on my brakes.
Yes, I agree. We're going to enter your travel lanes here.
What? Okay, this is my favorite.
Right here.
How long have we had the express lanes now?
About a year plus.
Oh my gosh.
And we are in
favorite.
This is all.
But the problem is more and more people are now getting on the express lanes.
Okay.
When they started, it was really nice.
It was ghosts.
It was really nice.
Because people were afraid to use them.
Why?
Because the pattern. Because we know we use them strategically for lunch and getting home. Mm-hmm. Now, other people don't understand.
I used to go to the mall a lot.
Yeah, look at this speeder flying by. Jeez.
Oh.
And a tinted tag cover.
A tinted tag. Now, don't they know they're likely to get pulled over?
They know, but then they're going to be like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Like, I guess people like to get pulled over.
And
my
that's
goal
what I
is
say.
not
Like,
to get
hey,
pulled over, so I try to do what I can.
You keep your car. You don't put tint.
No,
I don't put
tint.
No,
I don't,
because you don't want to give a reason for nothing.
I really don't.
And if you ever look at this guy, if you ever catch Troy driving, Troy drives. Oh, I got to move the camera.
How do I drive?
Troy drives with.
Justin Wormuth would have an opinion on this.
He drives like this.
Do I?
His back straight up.
Not always.
Sunglasses on and locked in.
Do I really?
And occasionally,
I do go.
He'll call his car. I don't want to tell what it drives, and he'll name his car and be like, "Play this," and then he just drives.
Yes.
That is Troy Bridges.
Justin Wormuth wanted me to mention. I'm sure he wants me to mention the fact that I do have an issue with going a little fast sometimes when I leave the station. I can't pretend that I'm a great driver.
Well,
because when we leave the station,
let's be clear, no one's pretending that, and I'm not saying
we have to merge. We have to merge, and I have to do a U-turn, and so I have to quickly get over.
So Troy feels for whatever reason that he is NASA and SpaceX combined.
Well, Justin loves to be like, you speed or whatever, but I try not to speed.
You're good.
I'm looking at this shot here.
You look great.
I don't look great.
He popped his tie off today.
I did pop the tie off. I meant to bring another shirt kind of like yours.
We got a crash up ahead, going the opposite way. I'll move the camera to the front. Maybe you guys can see it. So give it to you quick. We got a crash. Westbound I-4 at Conroy. Right lanes are blocked over there. OPD and fire rescue look like they're on scene. You may not see it because of the wall, but oh no, you're good. Don't worry. It looks like it's not causing too much.
So are we getting questions?
Or
anybody? Is anyone interested? First of all, I was concerned because there was some hoopla.
Unfortunately, I can't take any questions right now because it's not loading the questions. But it's fine.
That's fine with me. There was some hoopla about me joining you for this, and this is the first
hoopla.
Hoopla.
What's that?
Oprah used that word. Her first.
Oprah's really important to you.
No, I just as a kid I thought she was great. Anyway, the point is,
so he's moving quick.
She said there's so much hoopla about this first show when she first went national and all this stuff, and there was that about this today, and I wonder why.
Well, I think people understand that you and I, I'll say it. I'll say it. I'm going to say it.
All right, what?
I'm going to say it.
What?
When you get up in the morning, you don't want to turn on your TV and get hit by a robot with no personality.
Right.
And we don't want to be there and be robots with no personality.
Right.
So we choose to have fun together and find ways to communicate that and having fun. And I genuinely feel people would much rather have a good laugh on a rainy day than someone with their sleeves rolled up stressing me out or telling me about a crash that's in a parking lot outside of just give it to me real.
Right.
And I think you and I there's a reason why We get asked to host things together because
Mm-hmm.
honestly, you never know what the two of us are going to say.
Right.
And we have a good time, and it comes across.
Well, you know what? And I'll tell you, I give a lot of credit to Matt Austin because
He taught you things, right?
Well, you know, I did like to have fun occasionally, but I was a little more serious until Matt came along. Matt came along in the morning show and forced me to be more, to have more fun, because he would say the craziest things on the air. His favorite go-tos were, and they were neither, well, I won't even, anyway.
Yeah, if it's on the air, say it.
He'd love to say, something about wearing Speedos. I don't know why. He would always say, I don't wear Speedos.
Right, but the mental
image. He would
image.
say, Troy,
Is it a
and
Speedo day?
And he loved to talk about, this is gross, but he loved to say people had back hair. And so he would say that, and he would work it in. And it's not true. It's not true.
You don't have back hair?
No, I'm not getting into it. No.
You have chest hair?
Just shut up. Anyway, the point here is that he forced me with those crazy things that he would say to laugh. It would make me laugh, and then I would have fun, and we would have a lot of fun. So you also do that. You allow me to have more fun.
It took us a little bit.
Which is really good. And again, you know, everyone loves Matt because Matt knows when to, you know, be the news anchor, but also when you could have some fun.
I think just
and that's
being
what
able
we try to do, balance
to relate, to be relatable.
Mm-hmm.
With you and I, if someone's acting a fool on the DOT cam,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say they're acting a fool.
Mm-hmm.
If someone emails you asking what 20% means, you're going to tell them, well, it means 80% of you might not see rain.
People think 20% equals 0, and I say that a lot. 80 does not. I mean,
Let's
20. Did I say 20 or 80?
All right.
20 does not equal 0.
We're going to officially give you a forecast right now and break this down.
Mm-hmm.
So if Troy says, or if they say, hey, there's a mouse loose in the kitchen, and there is a pie on, this may be a horrible
analogy. What does this have to do with anything?
And there's a pie on the counter. That mouse is gonna eat 20% of that pie today.
Okay, all right.
We don't know how much pie or where it's gonna eat it.
Exactly where.
But 20% of that pie is gonna go missing. That was a horrible analogy.
I think it does work
visually.
Though.
I just like
because we look at the viewing area. We look at Central Florida, and we say today we have a 60% coverage of showers and storms. That's a coverage area. And so when I mentioned 20% on days when we only have a 20% chance, that's the biggest issue. I think people understand, at least if you've lived here long enough in the summertime, that you're going to get these pop-up storms, sea breeze storms. If you live along the coast, it'll move inland, all that stuff. But if we get a front,
this ramp is so cool.
This is what you call the spaghetti bowl.
The spaghetti bowl, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of Spaghetti Junction in Atlanta.
Yes, you told
me
about that.
We're in a big city. Look at the big city.
So, but like you're saying.
So if I say 20%, people think, oh, then it's not going to rain.
And then they get mad when it rains.
Right.
That means you were in the 20.
I've literally had people say, you said only a 20% chance for rain, and it rained. I'm like, do you not understand 20 means 20, not 0?
Right.
That means 20% of us had rain, and chances are you were the 20%. Yes. So it's pretty simple. Don't get me worked up.
Well, I think a lot of it is there is no 100% for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. I don't like this shot.
And you don't like that shot?
I need to do some push-ups, I feel chubby or something. What? Why are you quiet now?
Because our producer is sending me a message.
Uh-oh, what are they saying?
I don't know. So we're exiting here at Orange Blossom Trail. OPD is everywhere today. Look at that.
I wonder why.
So what were we talking about?
I don't know.
You started laughing about
I'm just looking at our exchange here.
It's about a minute and a half delayed, so just don't worry about it. Yeah. But anyways,
I wonder if people are asking questions. What the producer say? Is it Tara?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tara's being Tara.
Is she loving it? She's loving our talk.
Tara's being Tara.
What's going on, Tara?
Yeah, Tara's being Tara.
Do I have my phone? Let's see if I get a text.
Probably not. So, I hear sirens.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys, so we're slowly making our way back towards the station. Whoa, a lot of units. They're cruising quick. Don't know where they're headed. You want to go follow?
I have someone who just asked a question.
What's the question?
Well, it's one of our coworkers, but he wanted to know about our pets and my goats. Derek asked about goats.
Well, you have an obsession with
Derek
goats.
just wants me to talk about the goats.
Well, I think
people already know.
Yeah, they know.
I mean, we had goats as a kid. My parents bought a little piece of
If
land.
you could have a goat right now, would you have one in your backyard?
If I had a yard. I mean, I don't know.
Would you have a goat
Goats
before
are
a
fun.
dog?
I mean, no. But the whole thing with the goats is they're real cute. But I did grow up with them because I grew up in the country, and my parents bought this little plot of land, and it had overgrown brush and stuff, and so they bought 2 goats to go out and eat all this brush, and it was easy and cheap. And anyway, what happens is goats are a lot like rabbits in that they multiply very quickly. So we had a lot of goats in a short period of time, but they did become our pets. They were our pets.
What was the name?
And that's really the
Billy.
There were a lot over the years, but I remember Billy. They were basic
It's always
names.
Billy.
Sugar, because she was white, so we called her Sugar. She and Billy made Pepper because she was salt and pepperish.
Okay.
That's we had many more, but I can't remember all their names.
No.
Anyway, so what? Now
I'm obsessed
where are
with
we
dogs.
headed?
Okay. Do you know
I
where
missed
you're
that part
at?
because I wasn't listening.
Do you know where you're at without looking around too much?
I mean, it's OBT.
Okay.
It's wonderful over here. Oh, that's the there's the Camping World Stadium.
Yeah.
Where Trooper Steve and I went to. What game did we see? Remember we went.
We've
to
been
that
there
football
so
game.
many times.
We went to that football game. Remember?
Yeah, but
it was the Cure Bowl.
Cure Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando
We went to the
Police
Cure Bowl.
Headquarters.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is a beautiful building. Look at that.
It really is.
It's modern.
Wow.
So yeah, we're on the trail.
Yeah.
We're headed north on the trail. Cars just backing up randomly out here. I don't know. So the reason we did Troy first, because we want to encourage anybody out there that if you feel you want someone to hop in Troy's seat, we want to know about it. What do you think?
What if a viewer wants to ride with you?
I'm interested.
Are we allowed to do that?
I'm interested, but there must, there's a waiver and all that stuff. You signed it when you signed your contract.
Right.
So we have you all the time.
Right.
But I would be, but there needs to be a purpose. I want intention.
Well, that's what my thing was. What was my purpose?
You are the purpose. We are the purpose. It's you and me getting here, talking, and just getting to know each other a little. Or no, we know each other.
I get people to know
us a little
because they
bit.
see us on the air, and we have specific things we do at specific times, and this is us just doing whatever. People did ask me a lot today. What are we going to talk about? And I said we're just going to,
chat it up,
see what happens.
What do you think is one of our funniest moments? I have one. For me, it's probably the Winter Park Christmas Parade.
Oh.
Hence, we haven't been back to that.
I don't know why they didn't invite us back.
Yeah, y'all need to invite us back.
We got to host the parade. It was a great setup. They had this big table that was
I felt important.
It was like, up high. We
was
saw
cool.
the floats go by.
So cool.
There's a whole itinerary or whatever, so you could see the floats.
I used to be really, really, really good friends with some of the Disney characters.
Let's talk about the whole point of the story. So we were doing this, and the floats would come by, and one float came by, and it was a Disney float.
Yes, it was.
Do you remember which character?
I remember it was the man, Mickey Mouse.
Oh, it was Mickey Mouse.
And Goofy was behind.
I knew that. I mean, I don't know how to word this.
I
without
used to be
getting in
good
trouble
friends.
again.
Used to be good friends.
All right. Well, then, okay. I said it in a different way.
Yes, he goes.
So,
well,
but does everyone know what good friends with means? If you work at...
I used to work entertainment at Disney.
Right.
That is...
And so when you are a good friend of...
That means you
whatever character it was...
You worked...
Then you knew that character very well.
Personally.
Physically
personally.
Right. So,
without getting
you're
weird.
But you're not allowed to say...
Yeah, it's like it's like Disney Bible. You know,
it's the magic. Because you ruined the magic.
Right. So Troy ruined
because
the
I didn't know you couldn't just say, oh... Now I can't even say it now.
Yeah, he goes, oh, look, it's what Trooper Steve used to be.
Right.
And I slapped the mic
because
out of his hand so hard.
And I was shocked. I was like, what did I say?
And I looked at him dead in his eyes. And I was like,
oh, I better shut up. I'm just going to shut up.
I'm sorry. And then the entire parade afterwards, he would not say anything unless I pointed at the thing and said, okay.
Well, we did have, the floats were always out of order. They were out of order.
It was a mess.
And so he was like, this is the one, this is the next one. Because we would be saying, and now they're beautiful.
And then where are the ones that didn't get invited back?
Well, anyway, we were blessed.
But what we get to light the Christmas tree together.
What's happening down here?
We get to light the Christmas tree together every year.
Okay, yes, we do, and that is such a wonderful event.
That's fun.
I will say the tree lighting has evolved. How many years have you done it?
Since I've been here.
How many? Okay.
Going on. This will be my 6th tree lighting where I do the countdown.
The tree used to, for several years, have a what was it? A 17-second delay.
And then went to what, 14, and then went to
Well,
7.
the bottom line is we would always try to do a 10-second countdown, but it took, when they hit the button, it took 17 seconds for the tree to light. So that means you gotta fill 7 seconds.
Beat the bush.
How hard is that?
That was
7 seconds.
So I can't lie.
I don't think people understand. Let's make it clear.
I have an alternate sense of confidence and stuff like this because Troy's like,
it was stressful.
He's like, it's stressful. I go, I got this.
It is stressful.
I got this. So first year I took it and I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And we're going through it. It's set. And then something happens with my countdown. So I have an internal freak out moment.
Right.
Because we're live. And I'm not sure what happens. I do the countdown. I was off, but it was off by like a solid second and change.
Which wasn't bad at all.
Which was not bad. And I'm freaking out. Troy's looking at me going, that was brilliant.
Right.
I'm like, how is that brilliant?
Because there were years when, you know, again, you got a 7-second period to fill. We had an audience at home as well as an audience there, and you want to please everyone. Yeah. And so the reason is sometimes it would happen that I can't even explain it. Like I would tell, there was one person that I once said, oh, when you toss to us, when the news anchors toss over to us for the tree, press the button. Yep. And then I'll fill for 7 seconds, and then it'll
start the count,
and then it will light.
Right. Nope.
Well, what happened what happened is they tossed to us, but they tossed to us early, and we were still in a commercial break. But he didn't know that, so he pressed the button. The guy who's in charge of pressing the button. And so when we came, it was already lit before we came back from commercial break. So that was just one example of, you know, we're trying to figure out this timing, just so I wouldn't have to say, "Hey, hit the button," because no one in the audience wants to hear "hit the button" and then we talk for 7 seconds. That is before we start a 10-second countdown.
The TV stress is serious.
Well, it's all about making it look good and not letting the viewer get distracted by all the stuff in the way.
Well, I think it's twofold, because the viewer, and I'm talking to y'all,
like the
ones that kind of stress me out, because the first person to make fun of a mistake is someone who doesn't do what we do.
Right. Well, but the whole goal is to get the information out, help the people to understand what's going on, whether it be the weather, whether the news story, the traffic, without, you know, giving them some distraction, and then they don't listen to the content. Right. So if there's a distraction, like, oh, you got to do this. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that happen. Like, for instance, whatever you're doing in here to make all this work.
I'm making the cameras move and all that stuff. You don't even realize.
And you're doing it as we're talking. Yep. But if you explained it, it'd be a little boring. I mean, this may be boring as it is.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Is it boring?
You guys may hate us right now.
Does everyone hate us?
But guess what?
I want to know, does Tara think we're boring?
Well, guess what? We don't care. Because we're just chilling, two guys in a car, two bros. No, wait, two bras. Bruh.
What, you're telling me? You're the one who taught me.
Yeah, but then you got real good at it.
Well, I don't know why.
I should not have come this way, Troy.
No, why are we over? This is what is called
the packing
district, and they're building all kinds of stuff.
It is miserable.
It looks like it's going to be really nice one day.
One day. I'm sure that's when God looked at Earth. He was like, one day. Yeah, it's a couple of days later, right?
No, I'm wondering if people are bored.
No. They're probably just like, give us a topic. Let's see, while we're sitting here, is YouTube working?
I don't know. What are we looking at YouTube?
Because YouTube has a questions area where people can interact. Oh, there it is.
Do I want to see all this?
Oh my gosh, the good morning from Lakeland.
Hello, Lakeland.
They're saying we're interested.
Oh, is this now? So this is now.
This is live.
I wonder what the earlier stuff.
From Longwood, Richard
they would
Jr.
love to meet you. Melissa would love to meet Trooper Steve.
Well, I will bring Troy Bridges wherever. I think Troy should come to our next pop-up.
Steve Richard from Longwood says hi. Oh, Melissa, right? Oh, she's also sending hearts.
Oh, well, we sent hearts back.
Very nice.
So we're slowly, I'm getting hungry.
Troy Garfield Travels.
Screen names are so unique.
Yeah, they are.
I'm going to tell you all right now, if you can avoid OBT in the Princeton area, avoid this mess.
So, someone's saying something about, they're saying something about getting a ticket.
Oh, did they get one?
No.
If I played with a laptop and was driving, I would get a ticket. It's okay for Steve to do so in this new 6 truck. Come on, dude. Well, it's funny you say that, because the laptop is not being used while we're driving. Funny.
That's
because
true.
at no point in time has the laptop been used for anything, because we're not using the laptop to actually stream this, believe it or not. It's mounted, hands-free, in the vehicle. So thank you, Two Real Geeks. But I understand what you're saying, because you visually see it. But again, it's very easy to say things from the keyboard. But I would like you to know that it is mounted. We're not using it to stream anything, and it's literally just sitting here. I could even show
when
you.
he starts doing this, then I feel awkward.
Yeah, he gets real quiet. But
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how it's mounted right here, out of the way. No TV, no Netflix.
So what is it that we're looking at here?
Or
What's
anything
it
like
in
that.
front of- oh, look at, here's an example of something going on. We have people with it looks like they've done a good job of fitting these things in the back of their truck.
I'll move it to the front camera there. Troy's doing a professional way of moving
Yeah,
the...
isn't that what we're seeing?
Yeah. It's going to flip in here in a second.
It looks like they've done a good job. Now, you see all kinds of examples of people putting crazy stuff.
And they end up on What the Honk, which is...
What's the craziest What the Honk you've had?
The weirdest one was probably a casket in a minivan.
Oh my gosh. Sticking out?
Yeah. So
Wow.
the bed was open, and the casket was sticking out of the back, and it was tied in with like string rope.
Wow.
And so I was able to kind of track down. They just bought it on clearance.
Wow.
That no one was dead.
What?
They were saving it for a rainy
How
day.
did you
I
know
guess.
this? How did
Because
you know?
I tracked where the
here,
phone.
I worry about these construction workers. See, that guy was just walking in the street in this truck. Oh, kind of fast.
And this
Look,
girl needs to be on the sidewalk.
definitely.
Oh, not girl, guy.
Yeah, I mean that's
Get up.
dangerous.
Why would you be there? That makes no sense.
I mean, it's a construction zone.
You already got cars all over the place. So Troy,
Yes.
when is the next time? And I think we need to do experiences with Troy Bridges.
Oh no.
I think that would be a lot of fun. Different experiences.
Because you would like me to get on a scary ride. You would like me to get on the slingshot. You've said that for years.
Well, at this
And
point,
I'm not into it.
At this point, I'm not going to get on the slingshot.
Right.
So I'm good with not forcing you on it.
Right.
But I would like to do, like, maybe take you to the range one day. Have you see and experience different law enforcement tools.
Okay.
I also would like to get you on the driving range.
The driving range.
To maybe
Oh, no, that would be fun.
experience how to pit a car
Okay.
and do stuff.
How could I do- I would like to
maybe
do that.
even get you in a sheriff's office helicopter.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
So you got to let me know what you're interested in, and I've got to let you in on a prank that I was going to pull today.
Yeah, Trooper Steve told me today he was going to do all these pranks. He's used to do them all the time.
And I decided to behave myself.
because there's a chance I may say a bad word.
Yep, hard one.
No,
And I don't want to, I wanted to prevent it.
There's nothing bad, nothing too bad. We won't get into
No,
any
you would have
details.
dropped
Let's just
hard
move
four-letter
on.
words.
We're all good.
I would have too.
But no, he likes to have this. You used to have this rat that was remote controlled. You're not.
I'm just joking.
He had roaches that he would put on my keychain, and then a remote control rat, would be under the computer in the weather center. I would just be busy, and all of a sudden a rat would jump out at me.
So this is what we were going to do today. It did not pan out.
I'm glad.
So today, what I was going to have set up
I don't.
was going to have me pulled over on a felony traffic stop and pretend like we messed something up. And then I was gonna have a canine unit attack me
That is horrendous.
right in front of you.
I would have known that you planned this.
No, because I would have jumped out and it would have grabbed my arm because I would have had to sleep. You would have been in full panic.
That would.
But I was afraid that we could not control the audio
right
at the time.
That would have been horrendous.
Your face is looking at me like you really thought about doing
Right?
something like that.
That's.
I was gonna put a fake snake up there. Decided
Glad you
against
didn't.
that. Many things. I thought,
still
I thought today we're just gonna have some brotherly love.
Well, we went for an hour here, and it was, I think, kind of exciting and interesting in the beginning, and then we just got tired. I got tired.
I got tired. That's it. But we did talk
Yeah, it was good.
about a whole bunch of stuff.
So, what's going to happen next time? Are you going to have who's next?
So the next interview is already scheduled for back to school. Good friend of mine. He is retired Orlando Police Department, and he is the new police chief over at the St. Cloud Police Department. So that's going to be my first formal. You're the informal. And
What's happening here?
We're going to the station.
good.
I just don't want to get over right away. So because this is the mess. Let me show you how we
this
pull
is
into
a mess.
this place.
Do people know about this?
So this is where Troy talks about we have to pull out of here because it's a merge and a pull-in. So
but we can't, and that's also a bicycle lane. If there's a bicyclist, and then we got to pull in here.
It's all right.
I'm surprised we don't have more issues outside of that.
Well, that's because we're smart. So,
well, this has been so exciting.
Let's turn the camera around real quick. We'll sign out here. We're using that camera right there.
Which camera?
That one. Guys, I appreciate y'all hopping in the car with us on a crazy 1 hour.
It was crazy.
Literal random stream. Because that's all we got in here.
Right.
Troy and I do our best when we have no topics to talk about, when it's just us just chatting about things. Almost got him a little emotional about some stuff.
Yeah, but that's good.
It just, I appreciate this guy.
Well, no, I appreciate you letting me be the first one. I was shocked. I'm like, why? You have so many other options. So tune in because you're going to have some cool stuff.
We'll have some cool stuff coming
up. And maybe
a
viewer can come in.
A viewer's more than happy. You can submit. You can reach out. Let us know how or what or who you want us to check out in this. But Results is always out and about. Troy Bridges with me. Troy, thank you for being with me today. We are going to go drop him off in the back here because he has
I have to take
a noon show.
And then I do the noon show. And
oh my God, I've been watching News 6 app. I didn't know I could comment here. Troy is my spirit animal riding in the passenger seat.
Oh, that's so nice.
Y'all need to do this frequently.
Abby, thank you. Thank you.
Steve, are you from Kissimmee? Yes, I'm from Kissimmee. All right, we are signing off. We love you guys. I'm switching the cameras out real quick. Switching the cameras out. We love you guys. Take it easy. Be safe. Bye.
That was awesome, Trooper Steve.